Today's topic is creating space, creating time for meditation. So let us begin with creating silence, creating space. So that we can understand and absorb the knowledge. All of you know that we are a soul. So bring this awareness in your intellect. That understanding that you are a soul in this body. And see yourself as a soul, as a tiny point of light. Radiating peace, love, and happiness. And see that the peace is spreading out all around. In your mind, creating space between your thoughts. In your heart, between your emotions. And see that the peace is radiating from you between the memories, the past that you have accumulated. And see that that peace is growing bigger. And blurring out the thoughts, emotions, past memories. Allow your memories to fade away. As you watch the silence. Feel the peace. Feel happiness. As there are no emotions in the backdrop of the fleeting emotions, you have the happiness. Let the constant happiness and peace fill yourself. In your existence. Now go to the seed, to the root of that happiness. Where is it coming from? And you will see the thread of love. Connected to the supreme light. Follow this thread up to the silent world. To the land of peace. And meet with the supreme light. Face to face. Feel the joy of meeting the supreme light, the supreme soul, supreme Father. The Almighty, the ocean of peace, purity, knowledge, the bestower of happiness, remover of sorrow, the bestower of divine intellect and the divine vision. The liberator. And fill yourself with peace, purity, love, happiness, bliss, knowledge, and powers. Feel that all these core virtues are overflowing from you and spreading out into infinite distance in the whole universe. Feel that the world is peaceful. Your mind is peaceful. Your heart is happy. Your body relax. Gently return to your present state. Still radiating peace. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. That was a beautiful meditation. And your bird was chirping, and it was as though the bird was also agreeing to whatever you were saying. She was chirping at the right time, and I felt like she's like, yeah, I agree with what you're saying. So it was very beautiful. Thank you. So our topic is very lovely. It's time for meditation. How to create time for meditation, and I think um, we all struggle with that. I remember when I came new to meditation, at that point when someone told me about, take time for meditating, I always was struggling with that because having a full-time job, having a young child, it was the last thing in my mind. And even if I got any time, I just wanted to sleep or just watch something on Netflix. Um, and it took me time to understand the importance of meditation. And when I did, it wasn't that I had the time, but then meditation became my priority. And I'm guessing, like, when I understand your background is also, you're a surgeon, you might have hectic hours, but the only reason I think you're able to give your Saturday morning and not sleep in is because you also have realized the importance of meditation. So if you could start with sharing that, why is it so important to meditate, and what is your understanding of meditation and how important it is?
Let us see the importance of meditation first. When we meditate, we become aware of who we are, basically. Very simple terms. By meditation, what am I achieving? I'm realizing who am I. And that makes the world of difference. Because at present, I'm a body. I am the role that I'm playing, and I'm a responder of a certain situation. That's who I am at present. And so I have a lot of problems, a lot of difficulties and trouble. When I realize that I'm a soul, then the whole uh, uh, the problem list changes. The first thing that happens is I realize my inner powers. I'm able to deal with problems easily. I become peaceful. I become a happy person. Another most important fact is the situations or problems that I'm dealing with as a person, it becomes very negligible, because as a soul, my life is different, my agenda is different, my problems are different. So the whole thing changes, and my support changes. Right now, I have support. I take support to deal with anything. I take support of my powers, the physical powers, my economical power, my relatives, etc. But when I become a soul, my support uh, changes to a supreme soul, to whom I become dependent on. And that is a very powerful support that I have. Then I can deal with many things. So it's an important aspect to know, to meditate. What is meditation? Meditation is, there are so many ideas about meditation in the world. Let me just touch base on that. Some people think meditation is silencing your mind. But in reality, it's difficult or almost impossible to silence your mind completely, because the mind's function is to think. It keeps running. You can't silence like that. Some people think that meditation means focusing your mind onto an idea or an object or a picture or a light or even a mantra or a prayer. So all these ideas are there. Some believe that meditation means you focus on your breath. And some believe that meditation means relax your body. So all these different ideas that allow you to relax, yes, and allow you to elevate your consciousness to or awareness to some extent, but it's not sustainable. That higher stage you can't maintain because you rely mainly on your body, mind, and heart. When you, except for the breathing technique, all other techniques, you rely on your mind, body, and heart to meditate or connect. But the problem is these faculties, the body, mind, and heart, are deeply influenced by the physical world. What is there outside? Your own body, it is influences your thoughts, your nature, your habits, the body's possessions, the body's relations, the situations, and the environment. Everything affects body, mind, and heart. And so even if you're able to successfully meditate for some time, because these external influences are there, it will drag you back into the world. It's just not sustainable. The breathing technique is a little bit higher than this because breathing technique involves the use of the intellect, where with your intellect, you focus on your breath and it just pulls you from outside to here. And one of the first steps to meditate is to silence your thoughts, your emotions, so you can go deep inside. But yet, it is still limited because how much longer you can focus on your breath. You'll get tired because your body something will pull from outside. And so the complete technique, the real technique for the meditation is not there. Rajayoga teaches us a more complete way to meditate. And let me just tell you what is meditation in a simple way: connecting to yourself. And then once you connect to yourself, your true self, then connect to your power, connect to the supreme light. And I will tell you the reasons why you want to connect to yourself, because as we discussed earlier, once I know who I am, the whole equation changes. Why I need to connect to the supreme light? Why I cannot just connect to myself? Because if, let's say I just depend on myself, that I'm a soul, I'm a peaceful, powerful soul, and everything is fine. But then I myself am a peaceful, powerful, and pure soul when I'm a soul. But I live in the body, I live in a physical world. So when I am in the physical world, I come under the influence of the same physical world. And I deplete myself, and I can't come out of that by myself. So I have to remember a, a pure soul, the soul who is untouched by the physical world, who is not influenced by the physical world. And that soul is the Supreme Soul. And many names are given to the Supreme Soul, Supreme Light, Supreme Father, God, Allah, different names are there. But that's the same light that everybody wants to connect, because you want to realize your true identity. So Rajayoga, as I was saying, it is based on how it is different. It is based on understanding this principle. First, connect to your true self, and we use our intellect, because intellect is the only faculty of the soul that can rise above the physical world. The heart will always remain stuck in this world. Your mind will always remain here. It will not want to entertain the idea that I'm a soul, because I like it here. The heart will say, no, this is good. I don't why I want to wake up at 4 in the morning, etc. So the intellect is the part of the soul that understands the knowledge and that can see. So with that knowledgeful understanding, intellect can go beyond and say, let me look more deeper or more beyond than that. And another aspect of the intellect is the faith and the love. These are the two tools that the intellect can use. In Hindi, you can call us a nasha and nischay. The faith and love, this can pull the intellect from this world and connect to my true self and to the Supreme Soul. So that's the first step. And then there are, further step is once you realize that you're a soul, then it gives you a further step to move towards connecting with the Supreme Soul.
That's very interesting. So you mentioned that, the first step for meditation would be to disconnect with the sense that you are a physical body and remember that you are a soul. So how did you do that? How did you connect? What was your practice? Were you first somebody who's new and listening? Were you just chanting that I'm a soul, I'm a soul? Or was it something more deeper? If you can explain what is your process in connecting and reminding yourself that you are a soul.
As I was mentioning, this is a very different practice than other world practices. It is based on truth. So the first thing that I understand is I learn what is right, what is truth. So it is not an imaginary, it is not an image that I visualize and go after. It is a fact that I go after. So the first thing is I learn about me, about the soul. And once I have no doubt that this is right, then it is easy for me to connect. Then you practice meditation. So that learning is very important. And there are classrooms in which you can learn the soul, the lesson of soul. Who am I? Who is my father? What is my cycle, etc. But the who am I? It's a learning, and true learning.
Okay. So, so you're recommending that, you understand it more better, and then you'll be able to, first you connect with yourself, understand who you are, and the truth will then guide you. That will then make it more easy. And then you also quickly, when you were talking about the importance of meditation, you also mentioned that we all have depleted our energy. So it's very difficult to connect. And you need to, if you want to recharge yourself, you need to connect to the Supreme Soul. You mentioned that. If you can just mention a little bit more about what is the Supreme Soul and how do you connect with the Supreme Soul?
So our universe is made up of three entities: the soul, the supreme soul, and the matter. Everything that we can see around is matter, including this earth, the planets, everything. And then, so that's the physical world. And then there is the spiritual entities. And these spiritual entities are soul and supreme soul. These are energies. So the combination of the energy and the matter creates the world. The soul comes and interacts with the physical world to create the world. The supreme soul and soul are similar when they are above the physical world. When the soul comes into the interaction with the physical, the soul begins to behave like a physical being. And so then naturally the energy gets depleted, that the spiritual energy gets depleted or forgotten. The supreme soul, on the other hand, remains beyond the influence of the physical world, beyond the influence of time, space, and matter. And that makes the supreme soul a powerful being, the Almighty, because the supreme soul has now ability to recharge the discharged souls. The supreme soul remains pure because it's beyond the contamination of the physical world. So that's why many names are, we remember the Supreme Soul with many different names: the Purifier, the Almighty, the Bestower of Happiness, because the Supreme Soul is full of happiness. He doesn't come into the world cycle, so that happiness is in full. So coming in contact with him, we become very happy souls.
That seems very interesting and very logical also. But, I struggle with this fact again when initially I remember my time, and maybe the newcomers can relate to that. The moment I decide that I need to sit and meditate and even come closer to the truth and to try to see myself as this beautiful energy, I have so many thoughts coming in my mind, whether it would be of work, whether it would be that, oh, I have something on the gas, let me go and figure that out. My mind mind normally runs here and there, and there's a lot of wasteful thoughts which are created, thoughts which are random, have no use. Then how does one deal with that when I'm sitting for meditation and when these thoughts are coming, or in my entire day also? I feel sometimes, you lose half of your energy, because more than half of your energy, because your thoughts are not at all organized and it's all over the place. So if you can just touch base on like thoughts and how important they are, and how do you deal with it when you're meditating?
First thing, it is important to know that the waste thoughts are normal as you try to meditate. The thoughts will come. And because in meditation, you're trying to go deeper inside. You have conscious mind and you have subconscious mind. Conscious mind, maybe 10% and 90%. It's a big, huge thing that you have, 90%. In the subconscious, you have uh, memories, thoughts, emotions, everything is there. And not just from now, but from the past and past births, etc. So naturally, when you try to go deep in the subconscious, which is where your truth is, you come across many thoughts, many emotions. I've seen people cry also sometimes as they try to meditate. And the reason is because you're trying to go deep. And it is actually a sign that you are able to go to that one level. Then you just continue and you will soon find that you can go deeper. Before we came to the cycle, before we come to the world cycle, as a soul, when we first enter the cycle, all we have is peace, love, purity, happiness, knowledge, bliss, and powers. That's all we have. So we enter with this pure energy. So consider that as your first layer. And then you take birth. And in your lifetime, you can do many karmas, activities, and then you experience many things. So all these experiences are stored within you. So that creates a layer on the top of your original, what is called as original sanskars or impressions. And birth after birth, you gather a lot of layers. And these are in the form of good and bad, and mostly initially they are pure. But as we move forward in the cycle, that becomes more and more negative. And so when you first try to go deeper, you come across this more painful type of thoughts and emotions. But when you go deeper down, you come across good ones. So that just to know that's how it is, and you will get that encouragement to continue.
Wonderful. So do not run away with that. Like, normally when you sit, you would expect that I should have these very beautiful thoughts and my meditation should be something which makes me feel really happy. And then the moment you have a barrage of negative thoughts coming in, you don't know whether this is correct, and you think that the meditation is not going well and it should be all about, rainbows and butterflies. But that is also a cleansing process. That's what I've understood from your talk, that it's a cleansing process and it's okay. Let the stuff come out, you deal with it, and then you go deeper and deeper. Then you hit the core, which you mentioned that when we initially came in the cycle, we were full of purity, happiness, and joy. Right? Is that how that would be a correct thing? Okay. So how that's during the meditation. How would you what examples or what techniques would you give that for the entire day, like when I am not sitting in meditation, when I'm not aware that I'm a soul and I'm doing my day-to-day activities, um, what practice should I have, or what thoughts should I be checking my thoughts to see where my mind is going? Because normally we all are working in an auto mode. So what do I do when I'm not sitting in meditation so that my meditation is, when I am, my meditation is powerful and I have the energy to to sit for it.
Let us know first when it is uh, when the meditation is needed. That's a very important thing to know. Meditation is, we think that meditation means sit down somewhere and in the morning and try to focus something. But when it is needed the most, it is needed the most when you are into a problem, when you're looking at some difficult situation, when you have a body problem that you're dealing with, or something with the relatives. That's when you need meditation. In Hindu scripture, the Hindu scripture is Gita, like Bible for Christians. In Gita, one of the unique things about that is Krishna is narrating the knowledge to Arjuna in the battlefield. And that narration is Gita, which is the whole scripture. So why there is a need for telling this knowledge at the time of the war? So this is the idea. You need your knowledge and power when you need it the most, not at the silence time. You need it when you are at the war. And so the creating the time for meditation is actually creating or enabling yourself to connect quickly to your inner core, to powers at the time of the need. I'm dealing with an angry person. If I have inner powers, I can use my silence power. I can use my tolerance. I can use the power to face accommodation. I can use my power to apply full stop, power to pack up. Then I can deal with this person very nicely. But to use those powers, I need to be able to connect to myself. And then, so that means I need to be able to quickly, what is called meditate. How can I, in 1 second, meditate? So that's meditation, as we were saying before, that is connect to yourself. And of course, connect with the Supreme Soul. That's in a backdrop. But then connecting to yourself, how much time you have, a split of a second. Because if you're not aware, you get dragged into the situation, and then you are like anybody else. You are at a loss. So knowing that's when I need my powers the most. What is needed? First thing, what's needed is I need to be expert in meditation. Not just know what is meditation, but I need to be expert in meditation. And for that, you have to practice early morning in what is called as Amrit Vela. And we'll talk about that in a minute, but you start practicing there and become the master so that you can use it in the daytime. And like you were asking, what do you do in the daytime to meditate, is you exercise through the day. See, early morning practice gives you one certain limit of the strength, but then if you're not doing anything in the daytime, you can still get, you can still lose that connection with yourself. So like in a body, you exercise to develop the muscle strength. Same way you exercise throughout the day. From time to time in between, you have to connect, at set time. So you make a timetable, like you have a timetable for your work, you make timetable for your mind to connect. Another thing that you can do is, check yourself. Not during the day you can do that, but it's best done at the end of the day, because in the day you are in the situations and you're rolling. And so checking and changing best done at the night. And once you master the meditation in the morning, same way you master the checking and changing in the night before you go to bed, so that use that mastery during the daytime and you can quickly check and change as the situation comes. So these two. And you have to have a fund of knowledge. It's a spiritual knowledge. You fill yourself with positivity in the morning too. So, but basically in the daytime you exercise when time comes, especially when your intellect is not doing anything. See, we are the souls, and we have mind, body, and mind, heart, intellect, and memory. That's our subtle organs of the soul. Intellect is the one who can understand, who can see, and that's the one you connect with. In Hindi called buddhi. So buddhi yoga, or connection with the intellect, because mind you can't connect. Intellect, yes. You can be doing something, I can be driving, and while driving, my intellect, I can connect with myself or the supreme light, and I can easily drive.
This is perfect. I was just going to ask you the same question. Like, how do you, if you can give us an example or take us through a meditation, when you said that during the day, connect, like separate, distance yourself, connect, and then change the situation if you are in a situation which is a little overwhelming. And then you mentioned that while coming, if you're driving, that's a good time to do that also. So if you can just take us through a short meditation as to what we can do to connect with ourselves.
All right. So in one of the good way to meditate is have a program in your mind, not just like sit in and then recite something. You have to have understanding. So have a program. You create what is the purpose you want to meditate. And so here we want to connect to ourselves, right? So you need to have intention, create an intention or purpose. And then you need to align. What are the things that I'm aligning, and to whom? I'm aligning, I want to align to myself. I want to align my mind, my intellect to myself. So when I want to align something to something pure, I cannot be having a heavy heart and connect. So I need to feel light, and I need to slow down in my mind, etc. So let's practice that. So just create an intention that you want to experience. Create an intention that I want to experience that I'm a soul. In your intellect, just create a scene that you're looking at yourself, your true self, for the first time. And just know that it's not something imaginary that you are visualizing. It's something very real. Just keep looking at this image of yourself. A scene in the short future, a scene at the horizon, that you are looking at yourself, your true self, for the first time. Have this very clear image in your intellect. And feel the happiness that you're going to experience something very valuable in next 5-6 minutes. Feel that joy. And in your mind, in your intellect, have no questions, have no doubts. that this is something unreal. Accept that this is true knowledge coming from above. From the ocean of knowledge. From the merciful, the blissful, the powerful, the knowledgeful soul, the Supreme Soul. The shining star in the dark sky above. This is the light that you had been calling when in trouble. This is the one to whom you had been praying. And come very near to this one. And feel the gentle rays of love showering you, coming from the heart of the Supreme Light. Feel clean and fresh and ready to receive the knowledge. Now look in the mirror of the heart of that Supreme Light. The mirror of the heart of Supreme Light. And see your own image. You are a light. Just like your father, decorated with the virtues and powers. And realize that you are as blissful as loving as that Supreme Light. This is your true image. Hold this image. In your intellect. And accept that that is the true self. and find your position in the present time, in the center of your forehead, just in front of the brain. You are a shining star. You are the living energy that controls in a very loving manner the matter around you. You are the one who sustains the billions of cells all around, radiating love, peace, and happiness. And you are powerful enough to control the world beyond your immediate environment, which is your body. Accept that this is the truth. Om Shanti.
That was beautiful. What I realized is that, I like the fact when you said that, set your intention for meditation. And then you first connected to yourself, connected to your true identity before you connected to the Supreme Soul. So that journey was very beautiful. First, it's as though I have to reintroduce myself to me, like who I am, by telling myself that I'm capable of much more, and I'm peeling off, what the society has given me identification, and I'm telling myself very gently that I'm much more than that, and I'm reminding myself of the powers, or the power which I have, the inherent powers which I have. And then when I am in that power, then I'm connecting with the Supreme and getting more energy and strength from Him. So I like the flow of the meditation and how you, how you divided it, like, okay, the intention, setting the intention, seeing yourself, and then deriving that energy from the Supreme Soul. And then if you have any problems or anything which is any conflict, then you have created that space for yourself that can get resolved and you can receive the answers. So that was really wonderful. Thank you so much. When you were talking, you mentioned about Amrit Vela, and getting up in the morning for meditation. And from your 1 minute talk on that, I realized how important that is for you, because you said that you get up in the morning and you first um, fill yourself with these powerful truth and knowledge, and then you start your day. So if you can just touch on Amrit Vela and share your personal journey with Amrit Vela.
Every thought that we create, it is associated with a emotion. Every a thought or a word will have emotion and intention. So when we are in the awake stage, we have this multitude of thoughts occurring in our mind, and the associated emotions and intentions not just stay within you, but it spills out into the atmosphere. So the collective emotions are there in the environment, in the awake stage, in the daytime. Amrit Vela is a time when most people are asleep. And even those who are awake, their conscious mind is a little bit asleep. Their subconscious is more awake. So that is the best time when there is a minimum of contamination of the thoughts, emotions outside. And in the present day, in the present life, the emotions are not positive. More negative emotions than positive are there. And so it gives you a boost. It gives you a power to go into silence, because if there is the noise outside, you can't naturally become silent. Same way, if there's a noise of emotions outside, you can't silent, because it very subtly, it will affect you and you can't go into silence. So in meditation, step number one is become silent so that you can go within. So the Amritwala time is typically 2 and 5, between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. But if you cannot get up earlier, the better, because as the day goes on, more and more activities, the souls are active, their conscious mind is awake, and there is a hustle and bustle of day-to-day life. And so it is difficult to practice. Once you become master, once you learn how to meditate, you can achieve a stage where you could be in a wartime and you could be still peaceful and meditative. That's the goal of meditation. But when you're new and you're learning, you need to begin at Amritwala. I'm saying new and old, but even all the teachers that I know, they wake up in Amritwala because they are still students. Nobody is the perfect, because we have to, achieve that perfection. So that's the importance of the meditation early morning. And another important fact of Amritwala is that time your subconscious is more alert. And like I was saying, it is the subconscious mind where you have initial layers of the negativity more, and then deep down you have more positivity. So you have a chance to look at your negative and destroy it, and you also have a chance to emerge your positivity at that time.
Very interesting. So what I understand is if you have to get up at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock, you need to have, if you will have to go back and see what time you're sleeping. And definitely we can't, sleeping at 11 o'clock won't help if I have to get up at 4 o'clock or even 3 o'clock, and awake in the sense like properly awake, not in the drowsy state. And I remember talking to you and you used the word sleep hygiene, and I love that word. So what does sleep hygiene mean, and how do we achieve that to have a good Amritvela?
So idea about having good sleep is when you sleep good, your morning is good, your day is good. Now, what is most important to have good sleep is you should have good day. That's number one step. So your day should be good. And I will talk in a little bit about that, how your day could be good. So first thing is the day should be good. Second is you need to slow down before sleeping, before you go to sleep. I cannot just, suddenly fall asleep. You could be thinking something really intense, and then within the next minute you can't sleep because your mind is running. So you need to slow down. I would say give yourself half an hour to slow down. That means whatever you're doing, you just stop it, especially something electronically. If you have a TV or something, stop. So meditation would be a good way to slow down. Thirdly, your body need to rest. Also, likewise, your mind need to slow down and stop. Your body need to rest also. And so for that, I think the eating is important. When do you eat? If you eat late night, then and then try to fall asleep, then what happens is the digestion process, it will not let you sleep, not let you achieve that deep sleep that you want. So you want to eat at least 3 to 4 hours before the bedtime. So that's third one. Fourth is ambience should be quiet and suitable for sleep. So that means if there's noise outside, then of course you can still fall asleep in a noisy environment, but then you don't get that deep delta wave sleep. That is the requirement. So as much as possible, reduce your noise level outside. Also, lighting should be dim, low, not in a bright light, because same principle. If you have a bright light, noise, whatever movement, if you're traveling, you must have seen that when you're traveling, you can't sleep well, so because there's a movement and etc. So that's next. And then, like I was saying, meditation. You meditate before you go to sleep. The time should be important. The sleep time and the wake up time, it's very important. When do you sleep? That has to be timed more important than when do you wake up. So I have alarm to at 9:25 every day. That's the alarm time for myself to stop whatever I'm doing. And then so I have 25, 30 minutes to slow down so that I can fall asleep at 10. So these are some of the things. And like the daytime, the most important fact about the sleep hygiene is your day should be easy, clean, happy, and light. So, we come into many different things, situations, and if you try to remain stable and peaceful during the day, then your night is better. Your night is better, your next day is better. So it's a cycle. But you start from a day, because that's where you have a control. You don't have control what happens in the night. But so you start where you have power. I have a power in the daytime not to get into argument with somebody. I have the power in the daytime to exercise my determination power, that I need to exercise my mind at certain times, etc. And for that, you fill yourself with a powerful, pure, positive thoughts early morning. So because the day starts with the morning, and so the morning, if it is pure, positive, powerful, then your half the day will be very nice. And where do you get this positive thoughts, powerful, pure thoughts in the morning? Spiritual study. That means study about who you are, study about the Supreme Soul, study about the soul cycle. So that you feel, because we have a habit of thinking about body, thinking about the job, anything related to the body, but give yourself time for that spiritual study early morning.
Very nice. So you have the alarm for the night, not for the morning, because if you sleep well, you automatically are going to get up. So you don't need an alarm in the morning. That's interesting. And as you said, it's a cycle. So to get up in the morning, you have to see how you're sleeping, what time you're sleeping, how you're eating, and then your day, and then it just carries forward. But for someone who's just come new and can't get up at 4 o'clock, is it okay to still do a meditation at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock and then continue with that? Or is it, I understand you might not achieve what you would at 4 o'clock, but is that still okay to start at whatever time you get up and then take it from there?
Certainly, yes. I think the most important fact in that one, the person who is trying and trying to meditate at 7, 8 in the morning, they have a very pure intention. And so just by that, they will succeed. And initially they may have difficulties to find the time, but later on, as they taste this, the peace and the power doing the meditation, they will find time. It is that today's topic is like a finding that's a time to meditate. They will find time. And this is how you find time. You should understand the importance of the meditation. Once you realize how important that is, automatically you will find time. I was like that one day where I did not feel that, wow, this is too early and etc. But now it's like a normal habit. I know that it's my time because you realize, so one very important thing about meditation is you have a tangible attainment. You achieve something real, not by theory. You become a peaceful person. You become a powerful being. You become a very determined person. You become a happy person. Why? Because you transform from inside, from the seed level. So when you meditate, you begin at the core, at the level of awareness, the consciousness level. So when you transform at the awareness level, then your stage is elevated, your stage is very high, and you create the positive thoughts naturally. You don't have to say that I'm going to now think positive about this person or this situation. It is natural because you are in a high stage. And that's called as an attitude. Your vritti is very elevated and pure because your awareness is pure. And so once you have these positive thoughts in you, it is a thought that generates that creates your world, basically, because the thoughts will lead to how you envision what you want to do. And that will lead to all the actions that you perform, thoughts, words, and working level actions. Everything follows in a nice manner. And you will see a change.
Very nice. So, as you said that even if I get up at 5 or 6, my intention is there, and this is building spiritual muscle. It takes time. And then when we see the benefit of it, automatically as we derive strength, and you said that it's a tangible difference. And when you derive strength and you see that, then there's going to be a shift, and you will automatically start getting up at 4 o'clock. But again, this is a journey, and things will take time. But as long as your intention is right, things will follow, and you'll be able to have a good timetable for yourself, which will work for you. That's really good. This is the time for, if anybody has questions from the audience, they can chat or they can let us know, and we can ask Vinod Bhai your questions. um, I'm just going to take this opportunity to ask him one personal question. So, Vinod Bhai, right now, if you may share with us that what is your personal practice these days? What are you focusing on? Or, what is it that you're working on? If you can just let us know what's your practice these days or personal practice.
The personal practice is to feel that happiness. It's ever increasing happiness that I have seen since I started to study. And there are, as you go inside, you find more and more problems that you come across, and then you overcome. But as you do this, it's a very joyful process. But you get caught up with the uh, experiencing more like a worldly manner of attention or a worry. These subtle problems are come across. And so I deal with that nowadays. So the more, as you go deeper, you find these subtle problems come across. So
But you try to maintain your happiness. Is that what you are focusing on?
yes, because I think that's the best way to do it. Instead of looking at my problem and trying to solve it, I look at to what I have achieved. And that if I keep that in my awareness, then all the problems will, silence out. So.
That's just wonderful. If we